Welcome back to Desert Sun Crypto. I'm your host, the Desert Sun. Today we're going to be talking about scams. Is it FUD? Is it real? Is it a concern? I'll get to that in a second, but I wanted to cover the market cap for today off Coin Market Cap. The crypto market cap for today, July 31st, is at 1.6 trillion, up about almost 5%. Bitcoin's pushing 42K, Ethereum just over 2,400, and XRP sitting at about 74 cents. So let's get into it. As long as there's been humans, there have been scams. Everything from snake oil salesmen to people just making promises they can't keep, Ponzi schemes, uh, you name it. And so this isn't new and only something that you're going to find in the cryptocurrency space. But there's also a narrative that's building up that is creating fear, uncertainty, and doubt, otherwise known as FUD, in the crypto space. I like that everyone's covering all of it. I don't get fudded out. I know what to look for and what not. But one thing that I want to cover and talk about are what are the scams and how to recognize them. Here's a clip that I just wanted to share that was that came out 2 months ago. Some say it was FUD, but I mean, this really did happen to people.
See scams. Since October, nearly 7,000 people have reported losses of more than $80 million. The median loss, $1,900. Danielle and Chris Gert put $500 into what they thought was a Bitcoin investment on Facebook. It was a scam.
In the beginning, everything was kind of lining up legitimate. That was initially when we started to get really skeptical, was when they requested more money in order to even get a withdrawal.
In the end, they lost $1,400. The Federal Trade Commission says victims are often lured to bogus websites promising big returns for crypto investors.
People read about Bitcoin. They have a general sense of what it is and the fact that it's gone up in value, and they want a piece of the action. And scammers know that, and they prey on it.
So there's some stuff that we've already heard, but if you notice, and I'll kind of go back, she says, this lady who's talking about getting scammed talks about giving them money. Here it is.
In the end, they lost four. In the end, they lost four.
Let me line it up just right. Sorry, let me go back a little bit further. And
was when they requested more money.
They requested more money. So 101, you need to take ownership of whatever cryptocurrency you have. As a matter of fact, it is the biggest red flag when someone comes up and says, give me money and I will give you some kind of ROI. I've known people who've been scammed by family members and even husbands and wives. So the fact that someone would come at you with a website or a great get rich quick scheme, it is a scam, people. There's no one that, don't get me wrong, there's some great stories of people who invested in a cryptocurrency when it was at 0.00001, and they threw in $10,000 and that cryptocurrency became XRP or Bitcoin or what have you, whatever the case may be. There's some great stories, and that gets people excited. And it's just like lottery tickets and going to a casino. People get excited at the potential to make money. But there is no get rich quick method. And if there was, I would be doing it, because who doesn't want the satisfaction of getting a nice return on their investment? It takes a lot of research, as I say in some of my other videos. You need to research the heck out of everything that you put your money into, and I'll give you a couple keys to that. The other thing is really what they're talking about, and I'm going to go on the FUD side. Here we have this article, Newsweek, woman 77 loses 12,000 in scam involving Bitcoin crypto. Well, someone would read that and say, okay, well, it's Bitcoin and crypto and it's a scam, and then move on. But when you get into this, basically what you read in this article, is that basically there's this woman who was called, and this guy that called her instructed her that um, uh, uh, to purchase 3,500 of Bitcoin on Coinbase. Okay, he probably talked her into it and said it was a great investment. And then ultimately, because he duped her once, he calls her again saying that, um, there was more money needed. She gave her information away. And so she fell victim to something that, a lot of scammers do. They call, they fish for um, people that just have a very trusting personality. And, they wouldn't be calling if it didn't work. And I get calls all the time. I'm sure we all have on, hey, there's a great opportunity, whatever the case may be. So this woman just got scammed like everyone else in any other space, but because it just happens to have crypto and Bitcoin, the psyche here is that, well, like, cryptocurrency is just all a scam. Okay. The other one is this individual here. We lost um, our life savings in a cryptocurrency scam. Reading into it, um, there was an individual that approached, and I don't know, it doesn't really matter. It could be through email, phone call, the guy's neighbor. Um, but this guy ends up investing 250,000 pounds of his life savings into what he thought was going to be, um, you know, a potential return on his investment to the tune of 10%. Anyhow, it goes on and it talks about the safety, but the reality is, in a lot of these situations, is like someone is manipulating these people into believing that they can be trusted and just give us your money and we're going to make a ton of money off the market. And that is the rule number one: do not trust anybody. Do not give anyone your passwords or anything along those lines. Now, they have this. I was looking to see what information's offered as far as like how to um, not get scammed. And I was reading through this article, and at the bottom it says three things. One, it just says cryptocurrencies aren't backed by a government or central bank. Okay, duh. Holdings online wallets are not insured by the government. Okay. Cryptocurrency's value can change constantly and dramatically. Okay, it's volatile. And nothing about cryptocurrencies make them foolproof investment. Okay, so this is basically the tips to avoid being scammed, which is just a bunch of bullshit and a bunch of shit because it doesn't help an individual who wants to uh, you know, by any kind of cryptocurrency from being manipulated. And herein lies the problem. And here's why I'm doing this video: is there's just so much trash out there that doesn't help. So obviously, I've told you the first one, part one is 101. Do not trust anybody and give anyone your money. You need to have control of your money in this space. The only place to purchase, or that I would purchase, are on exchanges. One of the more popular ones that I use that I've really liked is Coinbase. Why do I like Coinbase? Well, a number of reasons. One of the things to check out on any one of these sites, and again, you can pull this up on your phone, hopefully, or you can just do it on desktop. Either way, you go to the bottom of their page, it's going to spell out like a few things. Um, Ultimately, it's going to show you the method and how it works. Here it shows that you've got the ability to buy and sell, manage your portfolio. You can set reoccurring buys. It's got a vault with protection. Okay, so there's security and there's a mobile app. With these mobile apps or anything, two authentication security is the way to go, which means that when you type in your password now, it's going to shoot your phone a code to punch in, and so it keeps you protected, so that if someone steals your password, they don't have that access point um, to try and manipulate the system. The other thing is they talk about it being the most trusted cryptocurrency platform. I have at this point, as we sit here, In 2021, I've never had any issues on Coinbase. There's secure storage, and they have information about it that you can look at. Protected by insurance, and this is what I like about Coinbase. Coinbase maintains crypto insurance, and all USD cash balances are covered by FDIC insurance up to a maximum of $250,000. That's great. And they use the industry's best practices. So there's a lot of information that you could look up here just straight off the bat. The other thing you want to look at in deciding which one you want to use are what kind of fees are imposed. So here we're going to scroll down. This is Uphold, and a lot of people, downloaded Uphold because they wanted to get to buy Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, but XRP. So they got it, and they found out that there is, I think it's like 65 days before you can pull out your money. That's just the way they set it up. It's probably a mechanism so people weren't, pumping and dumping. But whatever the case is, at the bottom, there's information about uh, Uphold and the fees. Let me see if I can pull it up just right off the bat. It's got how to buy. Let's go to important disclosures, which is good to have. Here it spells out the limitations on where you live. Now, one thing is that there are some states that do not support some of these platforms, and I've learned that. I live in Arizona, so Arizona is pretty good. But there's states like, let's say, Mississippi and New York or Texas. Everyone's got their own laws, so it's good to go in and see whether or not it's even an exchange you could use and just save you a lot of time. Uphold has different rules in the United States than it does in Europe, and there are reasons for that. Also, let's see, do they have anything about fees in here? Usually under FAQ. Let's see. I would just take some time and explore the fees. I should have pulled it up, but that's all right. You can explore yourself. You're encouraged to. I shouldn't be the only one telling you this. Definitely do the research. Let's look at Binance US. Now, there's Binance used in Europe, and there's Binance US. Now, what's interesting is they make it a point to let you know that this is only to be used for people in the United States. Now, if I go down here, they have something similar to what Coinbase put up. That's very similar, probably because Brian Brooks maybe had a hand in both. I don't know. But it talks about the security score they have, 9.63. Plentiful pairs, basically talking about what's available. Here's Bitcoin and Ethereum, and low fees. Let's check out the fee structure. So as I click there, it breaks it down general. There's a 0.1% spot trade fee and a 0.5 instant buy sell fee. That's something to consider, and that's actually not bad considering it could be a lot more. But it also breaks down trading volume in 30 days, what each tier is, and each exchange has its own tiers. A lot of it has to do with your security clearance, and what I mean by that is, when you sign up for these exchanges, there's information that they ask of you, just like you were if you were setting up, a bank account where there's information they need. Most of this is because in the last 2 years, cryptocurrency is taxed. It's another thing to keep in mind. I don't go into the specifics of tax implications because I don't know what it's like in your state, and I don't give it any financial advice, but it's something to be vigilant of and to research yourself. So definitely do the research on these exchanges. Don't go with, hey, I'm saying I like Coinbase. By no means am I telling you to. I have a few exchanges that I like for different reasons. Some work very well with my bank, and some don't. Some I can't even pull in money from my bank. I need to use another exchange. So I'll give you an example. BitTrue, I can't just pull money out of my account. I've got to move money in Tether or Bitcoin from another account, and there is a percentage that's taken. So if I had $100 in Coinbase and I transfer it over to BitTrue, it may take off, $7. So I've got 93 in the bank. And then when I make my purchase, it takes off a percentage. So maybe I can only purchase $90 worth of whatever coin is available. Um, so do your research when it comes to the exchanges. Do not take any of this information for granted. Definitely do your due diligence. And what ends up happening is a lot of people get excited. They see the price of something, they rush in and they sign up for one of these exchanges, and they don't know that there's like some kind of fee, or that they can't pull their money out when they want. There's little intricate things about all these. The other thing is, like, once you've got the exchange set up, is that each um, cryptocurrency, everything has and should have a white paper. Now, some don't. Reason why I like having a white paper is that it gives me an idea of what I want to invest in. I pulled up VeChain, which I do own, and here's a white paper that I pulled up that they have. Now, the white paper gives ultimately the big picture on what exactly VeChain is. Now, I don't want to go into the specifics, but here's an example of what one looks like. Theirs is very well drawn out. I can go over here. It explains what VeChain is, what VeChain Thor is, the governance, the economic model, which is what I'll click on. And you can read about it. Some of it might be over your head because you don't understand the technology. Some of it you might, but either way, this is where you want to go to get and wrap your head around what these cryptocurrencies are. And if you want to have a leg up in this space, dive into these white papers, educate yourself. And if you come across something you don't know, it doesn't hurt to look up some of the stuff up. Like, I by no means am an expert and can understand all this jargon that's written down, or some of the technical portions, but the more I read, the more I make a connection, or I can come up with some, way to explain it. It makes it a little bit easier to understand. Now, I'm more comfortable doing this and investing in stuff that I know has um, some some elaborate explanation of what it is. There's some bitcoins, or it's not. Sorry, there's some cryptocurrencies that do not have anything, and so, well, you ask, what's the value? Well, the only value is that everyone likes the logo and the name, and people are buying it, and that might be a route and a method that you might want to take. I know a lot of people that do that. Me personally, I like knowing what it is. And furthermore, what I like looking at, and you've heard me on some of the other episodes, is I like looking at who is, behind, uh, who's running the show. I said Brian Brooks before. Brian Brooks is a knowledgeable guy. I actually did a whole episode about him. And Brian Brooks knows his stuff. So if I want to go to an exchange, and knowing what I know about Brian Brooks, it puts more confidence in using Binance US. I've read a lot about Brad Garlinghouse, and I know a lot about the board of directors, and I almost know them by name. I know where they work, and I know when they came on. And as much as the technology and the brand is great, you need to see who's doing things behind the scenes, because that is also important. I say all this because, look, here I pulled up Craigslist, okay, and it's got some mining devices for sale and a whole bunch of things. Now, the reason I bring this up, am I going to go to Craigslist? No. Are there people that will? Absolutely. And they're going to come in here and they're going to find something that says crypto on it, and they're going to see like a low price, and they're going to buy it, and they're going to use it, and they're going to be disappointed when something's been gamed or hacked before they have it. Perfect example of this is um, uh, this is Ledger, and they have the Ledger Nano X. It's uh, a cold wallet for storage. Basically, the way this works is you purchase some crypto on an exchange. So, for example, let's say on Coinbase, I get in here, I read what I wanted to about VeChain. Again, not financial advice. I can't even buy VeChain here, but if I could, I look at it. I did all my research. It's at 0.8 cents. Oh man, I want to buy it. I end up buying it, and it's going to stay on the exchange. Now, it stays on the exchange. Could it be hacked? Yes. Is it secured? Um, I don't know. I hope it is. But if I want to feel more safe, I can move it to the custody of a wallet. And Coinbase does have a wallet that I can move it to that is separate from the exchange. The exchange is where I'm transacting and buying and selling. The wallet is where I'm moving my crypto to, which requires, you know, um, a two-tier authorization key. Getting tongue-tied today. And so I could keep it there. A lot of people are going this direction of getting a Nano X, which is basically moving everything from the exchange and the wallet into this stick where it keeps all the information. There have been instances in many cases across the board where people forget their keys. Um, One thing I'll say about this is like if, for example, you're going to buy a Ledger Nano S or an X, you want to buy it from the actual site and not use any other sites because there have been cases where people have um, manipulated them, stolen keys, a whole number of things. So there's a lot of security that's involved, a lot of security that's needed. But I'll tell you that ultimately there's um, a lot of protections needed to secure your cryptocurrency. So there was a lot we covered. I'll probably do a part two, but your basics right off the top is don't trust anybody, whether it's your password or that they've made, an ROI of like 200,000% ROI. Don't trust people. Don't give them your money or your password. Second is do your research. Find out what the fees are, find out how it works before you sign in and work with it. Research all of the crypto and find out what is best for you, your budget, um, and be vigilant of the stuff that you're buying, whether it's a computer because you want to be a miner, a cold wallet, or you just see something with crypto on it that you want to buy. Um, this is an exciting space. It's going to be picking up, and because it is, people are going to take advantage of how many people do not know what they know, which is why do your research, and you'll be in a better spot than just rolling the dice. I hope this was helpful. If it was, give it a like. Don't be hesitant to or shy to subscribe. This is the Desert Sun. Have a good one and hope to see you soon.